So why always only 3? Why not 5? Like, anytime you keep asking what are the 3 things and...
See, if I say 5, you would always ask why 5, 7. In terms
It's
of
just
that,
a number.
yeah, it's just a number, but generally, as I told you, 0 is very hard to look at it. Now, I'll tell you the power of 0. Recently, we were having a discussion on this model because it's extremely expensive on all the sides. Now, I was talking to my fellow entrepreneur. He started with a simple question. Can you help a student clear with 0 budget? Like, now when we look at it, when we have to cover the expense of the student, including what we have already invested, it is costing us around 8 lakhs for the 6-7 months. It's a decent number given the outcome, but when you have to go to the extreme part, you said start with 0. Now, if I have to start with 0, we should definitely do it at your home. And the intervention, let's say the first conversation, should be so hard that the conversation itself should trigger a significant change in your preparation. That's it. Now, we're doing a series of things, right? Moving to a different place, waking up early. Now, why are we doing all of this? That is, you'll study better both in terms of quantity and quality. What if you build a concept? What if you construct a conversation which is so impactful that all the changes are triggered automatically? Now, that's how we think. So this is 0. 0 is an extreme thing. We'll get there somewhere. Probably we'll be able to have a conversation. If I build that conversation, still I'll charge the whole thing for that conversation, of course. Now, coming to the other side, what is that one thing which will help you to improve significantly? One thing. And then 1 is normally not enough because problems are complicated. Then you bring it down to 3 things. So your ability to solve anything in 3 steps or 3 resources will gamify, will increase the possibility of implementing the solution. If I tell you 10 things to become rich, you may not be able to do it. 1 thing or 3 things. Then you should stop there. 3 things will give you 90% of the benefit. 10 things will give you 99%. So that way, your mind can always think into 3. Beyond it, it cannot capitalize, it cannot remember a lot of things. So 3 is a very powerful number for the human mind to process and understand.
So I actually have I don't know, it's like a surprise element. You say like pass guarantee, and you say it with a lot of conviction, and you also like promise our parents like she'll clear and it's my responsibility. Saying like it's my responsibility is like a big huge responsibility, because not every teacher, every child accountant can actually take that responsibility. So what gives you the confidence to even say that? And you just don't say it, you mean it. So that is something which is a very surprising element. So I just want your take on that.
For me, it's the exact opposite, Bharani. Like, what gives the conviction to keep fighting? Like, when you say someone has failed 4 times or 5 times, what are you thinking? You're not giving up, right? You're still fighting. So, what is giving you that conviction to keep fighting? For some reason, although you're battling the internal disbeliefs and the external suspicion, doubt, distrust, all of that, you're still fighting, right? There's something which is keeping you fighting. And there's something in you which your parents are looking at, which they're also supporting the fight. When students are fighting, parents are supporting the fight. Why not? And what you're missing is a conviction. I offer what is missing. That's it. I have to. And generally, at some point of time, no, I understand it's very hard for the mind to separately see ability from results. It was one of the hardest things which I had to do. It's extremely hard. Like we kind of validate ourselves based on the results and outcomes. Especially for me as an entrepreneur, the component called money, like people consider me extremely intelligent, and then the monetary part was not even matching, like not even 1 by 100 of what I could earn. So for me to keep the world reasonably out of this picture, and more importantly for you to fight your own belief, like because at the end of the day that becomes the metric. So it was extremely hard, but this is the single reason why I was able to do what I'm able to do. I did not attach my value to what I was earning. This is very important. So this is the perspective which I look at. I don't attach your ability to your marks, because when I decide to earn, I get it. I don't do it at 1x or 2x. I just add one more zero here. That is exactly how I build it. But similarly for marks also, it doesn't matter. 15, 20, whatever it is. Once you want to do it, you'll get to do it. So what I do for myself is what I offer to do for others.
So one more question, like how do you actually read our minds so well? Like you do the behavioral analysis, even though just by us even casually talking, you actually do the behavioral analysis. How does that even happen?
Keep your cup empty is something which keeps it keeps running in mind. What do you mean by keeping the cup empty? Like when the cup is empty, someone offers water, you capture that. Someone offers tea, like yesterday, your chai was tea or whatever, you capture that. By the way, it was bad.
It was science.
So only when the cup is empty, you can capture something. Now, our human minds are full of our own emotions, completely full. It's always tempting to fill yourself with your own thoughts and processes. But I keep recycling it, resetting it, and creating more and more hard disks, storage drives and all. So one part of my brain is always empty for what is going to happen for the next conversation. The moment it happens, I capture and process and reset it. Now, if you ask me, how much did I earn last year? I don't know. How much did I spend last year? I don't know. If I know all of that, I can't do what you can do. Because I look at a lot of scientists. Scientists are largely absent-minded except for what they do. They're just like, they're socially awkward and a lot of things. Because they're obsessed with one thing, they just shut off everything. Now, it's very hard for a businessman to work with that perspective. But one thing I know that if you help someone succeed, if you are contributing to the world won't let you poor. That is something which is very sure. Even if you want to become poor, you cannot. Because if you offer value to the world, somehow, that is the fundamental I believe in. That is something, because if you're not getting enough value, it means which you're not creating enough value, as simple as it. So, I always believe in first principles. So, how would you get rewarded in a world where there is exchange of value? So, you create value, you get value. So, the most critical part of any businessman is to chase money. They burn their mind in maintaining numbers, top line, bottom line, all of that. I just remove that aspect. That is the reason why we charge payments upfront. That is the reason why we also make payments upfront. So, probably there could be a 10-20% I would say loss of interest or whatever it is. I could make more, but my mind space is far more expensive. So I keep constructing a building, then I lift the building, give it to them, so that site is more valuable than the building. That's how I operate. It's tough, but it's worth it.
So, I have a question.
Yeah.
Empty pocket, empty stomach will teach us a lot of things they say.
Yes.
Have you ever faced that in your life before becoming a CA, when you were a student, or when you were managing your own expenses when you're a student without asking your parents? Have you ever faced that?
10 years after clearing CA, now I think I should share that, right? I think, yeah, I should. Yeah. Me and my wife Namrata, the one who is recording the video, went to a restaurant called Shambar. Now, why did we go there? That is a restaurant where we first met. So we went there to calm down our minds. We ordered breakfast, had it, then the waiter came in. I gave my card. Said it says not working. It's like, why it doesn't work? Then it's not saying car declared something insufficient balance. I was like, what the hell? It can't be true. So the bill was around 218. I guess it was. We had 205 in the balance. At that point of time, I'm a chartered accountant with work experience in EY. Then qualified at 21. My wife is a doctor. My sister is a chartered accountant. My father-in-law is a doctor. But all these factors would not come into picture on a daily basis. Now, the balance was 200. I took it very emotionally until my balance moved to a double digit 6 months down the line. So, been there, experienced it. But I'm not making it dramatic. It's one more thing.
Have you taken any resolution that this day will never happen to me, something like that?
I don't care, like, let's say, the fundamental way of looking at life is your bank balance should look like your phone number. That is exactly the goal. Now, at that point of time, it was like plus 9, only 2 days was there. Now, at some point of time, I'll add that and that's it.
It is always your thoughts, your beliefs, everything you have made till here. But at the starting point, how come ma'am believed, or how come she was like supporting? Because it is a very big question of residential mentorship. It is not just about guidance. Different people with different capabilities and mentalities. It is definitely a risk for you, but you were ready. But how come ma'am would support it?
Now
Convincing family members.
if I have to, if not for my human intelligence concept, I would have definitely made it her life school because I still don't understand why she trusted me because she's the only girl who didn't ask my salary. I keep on asking, why don't you ask my salary? Because at the time of marriage, I was very clear that I don't want to give a false expectation to the other family. I was working with EY. When mom said you go and get married, I resigned from EY. That was the point because a lot of people gave me a simple solution: work for 2 years and then you get a guest and then nobody says anything. No, that's not, because women need to know what they're getting into. So that's the reason why, when I have to think about Namrata, that's one thing which I always respect because it's a very hard decision. She looked at me the way I was, and at that point of time, I had nothing, literally nothing. And more importantly, they come from a family of doctors, and doctors, my doctors, and all of that. Not just Namrata, the way the family accepted me, unbelievable, and the way they are supporting me. And right now, I think the conversation is running for 30-40 minutes and she's holding the phone without a tripod. So that's the kind of support. And also, you guys, because we have been floating this idea both to boys and girls, somehow women are trusting us more, although it is a hard decision for it should be the other way around, right? No, even with Manju we were discussing, I don't know, it is just happening. So for a large period of time, it was my mom. Then Namrata came into the picture, and now you guys are there. So I don't know why you are trusting me, but yeah.
Probably that Jacob jokes and that's not true.
Yeah.
So how do you think and talk at the same time? I'm amazed by this ability of yours. Usually people say think and then talk, right? But you process it behind. Your processor keeps running while you talk, and that's not an easy thing. At least when you have to, you don't know what's coming, you don't know what the other person might say, but your ability of, processing everything at the back end and coming up with solutions and, talking it on the spot amazes me. How did you get that from, and can you please, teach us how to do that?
I don't think I seek, there's something called truth. I have been always fascinated with this thing called truth. It's hard to find. Sun rises in the east is also not true. I don't like if I ask you to tell me something which is absolutely true, it's very, very, very hard to find what is true. So I keep discovering that. So I keep seeking truth. Now in that journey, we'll keep getting a lot of insights, like here and there. So a question is a good trigger to pick one of the insights. So this the mechanism of thinking and talking is something which normally do not happen. So I don't think when I have to talk. So that way, I have like most of the time, I keep churning out the truth. Like it's already there. It's like a well organized wardrobe. So most likely your choice of color will be grey, black, whatever it is. It's already organized. So something comes in, I just pick up and wear it. It's ready to deliver. Like food company already pre-prepared food. You order something into it. I just have to know where is what. That is exactly what I want to do for the exams. Like that's the whole game. Like everything is pre-packaged. You see a question, you deliver it.